What's going on, guys? My name is Nate Stalker, and today is my first official YouTube video. Might not seem like a big deal to all of y'all, but I've been pondering on this, sitting on this idea for quite a long time now. I blew out my knee 2 years in a row now, so I feel like I could have done it a little bit earlier, getting back to my normal day-to-day life on this journey, but let's get it. We're about to head into the gym, hit some legs. Unfortunately, we won't be going crazy heavy on a lot of stuff today because I may or may not have absolutely turfed it. I'll throw in a little clip of it when I was trying to tube at Penn State, but let's get to it, y'all. So you guys might be wondering what really made me want to take this extra step and start recording some of these things. Well, it was kind of a fortunate, unfortunate bit of events that happened over the past few days. I was starting to have some issues with my phone. The screen started popping out of the case. The battery would start dying from like 50%. So I kind of took this opportunity of getting a brand new phone, which I'm very fortunate about that my parents were able to provide me with, to kind of try to lay out my dreams a little bit. I've always been big into the gym, especially over the past year and a half or so when I really took it into consideration how my health was getting affected. Got a little bit big. Maybe I'll throw in a couple pictures, but I was just not happy where I was at in life. I would get up, get out of bed, look in the mirror, absolutely hated how I looked. Didn't even want to take my shirt off, honestly. So let's get into it, y'all. First leg day on the YT channel. Dose of Nate, here we go. Going here, just nice little leg extensions. I'm probably gonna go about 15 to 20-ish. Again, not going crazy heavy on weight. I only got it on 60 pounds right now, just because my quads are absolutely torn up from what happened earlier. So let's get going. And with those quad extensions, what I'm going to go ahead and do is superset that with some hamstring curls. So let's get this guy set up a little bit. Now, I'm going to be outright and say I do not have the strongest hamstrings. For my first ACL surgery, it was a hamstring graft. So that was about a year, 9 months ago. So still feeling that a little bit, still a little bit fatigued, but there's nothing better than working on it. Rather not just leave it sitting there, right? So let's get into it. Well, not gonna sugarcoat it. My hamstring feels like crap, but we gotta get that working. Coming up here. Probably gonna drop it down somewhere around, I want to say 12 to 15 range. We got 20 on the last one, so I'm also gonna up the weight because this didn't feel too bad. I'm gonna go from 60 to 90. Get it. Last 2, 11, 12. We got more. Yeah, those are definitely feeling good today. All right, I'm gonna keep this second set of hammies right around the same. 60 pounds on there still. We're probably gonna go around 10 to 12. It's definitely shot already, but gotta keep working at it. Here we go. Last 2, 11, 12. Control this last one a little bit more. Oh, good set. Woo. One more set of each. All right, getting into our last set of leg extensions right here. I'm honestly gonna jack it up a little bit. Just crank them until I can't no more. Whew. Let's get it. With most of these, I'm really not worrying about how quick I'm coming up. It's more so on that eccentric movement. Really trying to get that good squeeze on the way down once I reach that top. As you can see, that right leg getting a little shaky in there, but I know there's so many y'all out there that'll see this who've gone through that ACL surgery, and it's no joke. It's not quite like a broken bone. Trust me, I've had many of those as well. It's in its own little category. You just gotta get up every day, keep pushing, don't let nobody tell you otherwise. Come on, I'm trying to get 2 more, 2 to 3. Last one, and oh, that's burning. Good set right there. All right, I'm hoping these angles aren't too bad for you. For you guys, I say, as I only have 11 subscribers, but as long as those, not even all of them, as long as any of those 11 subscribers come back, that's all I could ask for. So. But what I was getting to, sorry, I got a little sidetracked. What I was getting to is I hope these angles aren't too rough on you guys. I did forget my tripod at home, so that would have been a little nice with the new phone to have some pretty good angles, but we're working on it. It's a work in progress. First time, You learn as you go, right? So let's get this last set in. Big push. Also, I would like to point out, although it's not a very good excuse, it's a little weird for me right now as I'm kind of working out with no music going on in the background because I got this AirPod and I know I don't have any mic or anything, but eventually I'll get to that. We all start somewhere, and this is where I'm at right now. It's a little funky not having music getting me going, but it's all right. Come on, get that squeeze at the top when I really can't get nothing out of it no more. And that's it for hammies and leg extensions. All right, now we're gonna move on over into a little bit of back squat. A lot of them to choose from. Well, I'm gonna go right over here, right next to where my bag is at. Let's get this first set going, y'all. All right, we're gonna get this first set going here. Nothing too crazy, probably gonna stick around 135 to 225 for my sets. And I'm still recovering from that ACL surgery, so I do gotta work on my stability a little bit. But we've been getting back into it pretty good, just to get us started off nice. A little warm-up set. It is a little bit more difficult to get your full range of motion when you're doing it with no weight on the barbell, but I always like to do it anyway, just to get a little bit of a feel for how the weight's gonna move today. And honestly, it's not too bad. Again, I'm just focusing on driving that heel through the ground, keeping my chest as high as I can, shoulders back, and I like to force my elbows kind of forward. I know some guys have a little bit of trouble actually getting their arms on the bar, but just because of shoulder issues, which I've had a couple, but if you're able to get in there nice and comfortably, just throw those elbows forward and almost always force you to come up at the end of your rep. All right, we're gonna get into our first working set right here. Probably gonna go for about 10 to 12 on here, nothing too crazy. Let's get it. So there's a lot of guys you'll see who are ego lifters and everything. They will never throw those safety racks on. But I'm really trying to go deep on these guys. Ooh, ass just about to the grass. So I'm gonna throw those on there just to be safe. Ten, 11, 12, nice and easy finish off the set. And 12 for our last one. All right, set number 2, still not gonna be anything crazy weight-wise. Just gonna go 185 for 6 to 8. Still going for that deep range of motion. I just kind of want to explain why I'm actually going so deep on these. Even though it is pretty important to get that depth in squat, for the range of motion, you'll get that way better quad activation. Once you get down lower, get a little bit of glute activation. And I actually have a little bit of an issue with my right butt cheek. They actually call it glute amnesia. from those past 2 years of recovering my knee, obviously I'm not going to be walking normal that whole time. So I kind of overcompensated a little bit with my good leg, and just from those other surgeries, I kind of veer away from this guy inadvertently. And what that ultimately led to is not really having all that strength in my butt, as well as in that deeper range of motion in my quad from the second surgery, which was a quad graft. So I really got to work at that deep range of motion to get that back. I do some glute bridges sometimes, but I'm not doing those today, unfortunately. Well, fortunately for me at least. But let's get into it. Set number 2, 185. Again, we're going for 6 to 8. Nothing too crazy. All right. Here we go. Nice and easy. Deep breath at the top. Here we go. Come on. Come on, 5, 6. I got one more, come on. There we go. Sometimes you gotta give yourself that little bit of a motivation in between, you know. It's not easy. All right, we got our last set coming up here. I'm gonna go ahead and jack this guy up one, just because I'm getting a little bit nervous with my knee. Can't really help it. Got a little bit of PTSD from it, especially after having to go through everything that second time 2 years in a row. So we're not gonna go for anything crazy on here again today. For our last set, I'm gonna shoot for that, I wanna say 2 to 4 range. And then right after this, we're gonna get into some belt squats. So I can take all that pressure right off my knees. Not have to worry about it. So, let's get it. 2 to 3, come on. Nah, give me. Whew. Here we go, come on. Nice and easy. One. I'm just gonna go for 2. And that's all we got for today. Release on barbell squat. All right. We're gonna get to our first set of belt squats over here. So, this guy is actually like one of those pit shark machines, so I don't know exactly how much weight is on it just regularly. I want to say it's about 40 to 50 pounds just with the plate in the middle of its own. But since we got those legs nice and warmed up earlier, those quad extensions, we also got those squats and nice little hammy curls. We're just gonna get right into it. Some of the throwers over here, at least I believe it was the throwers because they be using this stuff a lot. They got a nice little 245s and a hundo on each side, so we're gonna get going with that. Right about, what's that, like 300 pounds, 3-some. So we'll get our first set nice and easy, not going too crazy. And we'll kind of go up in weight, see, depending on how we feel for the rest of the day. So let's get it. gonna have to adjust this belt a little bit to make it a little bit deeper. Be right back. All right, so it kind of actually turns out it's not actually the belt. I think it's these little pins down here. I'm not gonna lie. I honestly don't even know exactly what these are for. But I do know that I don't want them there, because I can't quite get as far down as I'd like to. So let's get you guys set back up where we were before and get the set going. Here we go. So now, I'm gonna add 1 or 2 links to this guy down here. And we should be set. Let's see if we go down far enough now. And again, we just got these handlebars here. We're not really using them all too much. Those are kind of just for stability. We don't go flying back and snap our back or anything. But here we go, nice and deep. Again, I'm barely holding on to these for this later set. I was gonna say I could do it without them, but that kind of takes away from the no knee. Again, a little brain fart right there. Happens to the best of us. Nice easy 10. That's almost impossible that I just decided to try and do that without no freaking hands. It's the last thing I freaking need to re-injure myself. But we'll get this next set going in just a minute. All right, just threw another plate on each side. Probably right around 430-ish. Sounds about right in my head. Oh, wow, just take a second to actually count this out. Give me 1 second. All right, so after counting, I was a little bit off. We are actually at right around like 530. So let's get this next one. I'm gonna shoot. Let's get this next set going. I'm gonna shoot for around 8. I guess I'm gonna have to speak English. But y'all think mental fatigue is a joke? It ain't. Keep me posted how that thing hanging back there. All of it. That's 2. And 8. That really does take the knees out of it completely. I just enjoy overloading this guy at the end because it's kind of a little bit of an ego booster, especially after my knee situation, because I used to be squatting pretty good. I was up to 365 at like 187-ish body weight, but I did creep up a little bit my freshman year of college. I was not eating healthy, stopped going to the gym, and really did take a toll on me a little bit. I honestly think that since my body was so out of shape, that kind of contributed a little bit to the re-tear. And I wasn't committed to my physical therapy. I wasn't committed to my practices and everything that they were asking me to do, which I do think ultimately led to that re-tear. Granted, I did have an infection after the first one, but still, there's no reason I shouldn't have been doing everything they asked me to. Now, the second time around, last spring, completely different story. I don't care what the heck they told me, when they told me to do it, or why. If they told me to wake up at 5:70 a.m., which does not exist. Yeah, I get it. I'd be up then. You know why? Because there's no questions about what the doctor tells you to do. You should do your homework, do your daily dues, and it'll all work out pretty good. But this time around, I'm about nine months out of surgery now. My leg's a lot better. I'm back into running a little bit. I'm really enjoying the gym right now. I'm actually calling it a 30-day hard, which I'm sure you guys have heard of. But I'm kind of taking it a little bit of a step further. And I'm doing the exact same premise of the 30-day hard, but I'm gonna try to go all the way to spring break, maybe even continue it after that, because it does take a little bit to develop things into a routine. But we are about, what's today? What's the date? Today is 25th. So you're 25 days into it, 1 hour of cardio a day, workout every single day. And it ain't no wuss workouts. We're getting in here hard, pumping some iron, lifting some good weights, but we're getting back into it. So let's get this next set going. Let's have a good one. Last two. Here we go, baby. All right, we got our second to last set going right here. Probably gonna shoot for around 4 to 6. We're up from 5:30. Let's not get this out. 5:30 plus 9, 6:20. So getting a little bit up there with the weight. Let's get it. Dig deep. Fight hard. Come on. Whew. 5, 6. Nice and easy. Come on. And our last one. Dig deep. Stocker. Come on. 6. Woo. Had to fight a little bit for that guy. One more. Add another plate on each side. All right. We're gonna get going for our last set right here. One more plate on each side. Shooting for 4 here. 2 to 4 at least, but I kind of want 4 in the back of my head. I know that. So I'm gonna push for that. Whether that means I get that last rep or not, don't quite know yet. But we're gonna see. Here we go. All right, that's it. Once again, that thing is thing, and I know it do. I was a soccer player. I had a big butt my whole life, all right? No pause. There's a pause this time. I promise I'm straight. Fingers crossed. All right, here we go. Give me some more. Whew. I'll take that. Shooting for 4. Got 5 today. That's a good way to finish the workout off. Now, I know there's not going to be all too many people watching this, let alone people making it this far, but this is the end of my workout, and I'm probably not going to record any of my cardio today, just a nice little outro saying goodbye to all y'all with That's What's Up, probably. But I would like to know if there is anybody who made it this far. Would it be worth me taking that little bit of extra time, throwing in that cardio at the end, maybe intermittent, showing you the screen a little bit, something like that, just keeping you posted on it. I promise I'm doing it, and you won't have to hold me to it. I'll hold myself to that, but just kind of wondering if there would be any benefit to that, if you'd like to see that as well, just to show that I am doing that each day. But that's probably it for today. I'm gonna wipe all this stuff that I used today down. Oh gosh, we're zoomed in a little bit too much on my face. I don't like that. That's a lot better. Okay, we're gonna finish up for today. I'm gonna wipe all this stuff down. I'll catch y'all in just a minute. All right, got this stuff all finished up and cleaned up back there. What I would like to say while I'm on my way out here, I am blessed to have this entire facility, right? I get to utilize this, come in after work on days where I'm at the MSF, which is the multi-sport facility out here at Penn State, where the track team's at. Lacrosse players are right outside as well. As you see, it all turned on for me. But I would like to say, you don't need all this fancy stuff to get yourself up and moving, right? It all starts somewhere. It could be as simple as doing push-ups in your bedroom, sit-ups in your bedroom. Put your feet under the couch, get those sit-ups going. It really doesn't take much. Go on a run once or twice a day. Not even a day, once or twice a week. Just get yourself going. Because trust me, I was at that point some time ago where I did not want to do anything, did not want to move. But what you need to understand is movement is medicine, right? You get a joy out of it. You feel great about yourself afterwards. That dopamine release is amazing. Whether that's mental clarity that you see, physical body change, or you see that weight going up, right? Just saying goodbye to that thing. But like I was saying, it does not matter what you do as long as you get out there and do it. So I'm gonna say goodbye to y'all for today. Hopefully y'all enjoyed, if anybody did end up watching this. And peace out. Nate Stalker out. Remember, make yourself the best version you can spiritually, physically, and mentally. Peace out.